Yeah, the growing pains. I don't really know why this is, but it seems to be a rule across multiple mental health issues, and it's just really chaotic when it comes to the DID. To borrow a phrase from the ADHD community, basically you're unmasking and you're getting to know the real you, like your true life experience and how your brain actually functions. And it gets worse before it gets better, but it has to get worse before it can get better. So lean into it, even though it sucks. If it helps, you can think of it as like, instead of sweeping all these issues under the rug, you're just actually getting to know all of the problems that have been going on in the background that you were just kind of ignoring before, because they were happening, you just were blissfully ignorant of them. So, using myself as an example, even recently, I've begun to notice just how often there's a lot of like brain chaos that I used to write off as just normal. Like this is just my brain. I didn't even question it. And then I sort of wrote off as this is just ADHD. But now I'm actually beginning to parse it out and recognize, okay, this part is the ADHD and that part is actually people in the background trying to communicate with me or talking to one another, and I'm just catching fragments of their conversation, right? Recognizing that chaos, like just noticing it, right? I'm not doing anything about it, but noticing it more often is actually helping me to sort of tweak the ways in which I communicate with other parts in the system. And I know from previous experience that even though it feels like it's turned the volume up on the chaos that is going on in my head at any given moment, really it's going to pay off with me having a deeper understanding of exactly what is happening, and then being able to recognize it as not chaos but individual elements. So I'm probably in, I don't know, 6 months or so going to look back on this moment and be extremely grateful that I'm just noticing all of the static and noise in the back of my brain, because that's planting the seeds for really cool levels of communication on a regular basis throughout the day. That's not to say that it isn't sometimes scary or problematic, because when I was going through this phase, this growing pains stage with the memory loss, it was a lot, and it was kind of scary, honestly, because suddenly I was having a lot of days where I couldn't remember if I'd taken my medications, or, you know, if I left laundry in the washer and then I go look and it's already moved to the dryer. And also I began to have these realizations of like, wow, my relationship with all of the people in my life is one thing, but that doesn't mean that that's all it is. Like, we could have had all kinds of encounters that I just don't remember. I might think that I have a great relationship with this family member, and then it turns out that they're secretly a past abuser, right? And how would I know? Or even times where you just kind of have to trust your friend or your partner when they say that, like, this happened, or you said or did X, Y, and Z the other day, and you have no memory of it. And I don't know about for other people how scary that is, but for me, because of certain types of mental and emotional manipulation and abuse that were going on in my life, that is terrifying and extremely difficult. So admitting that you're having those kind of memory gaps and learning how to just kind of accept them and maybe even trust others or find solutions like a tracker app for your symptoms and medications, it's a lot, it's challenging, but it's also very worth it because it pays off pretty big in the long run. So stick with it, even though it sucks.